Hi, good evening. Hi, Bittu. Hi, Abhishek. Hi, Samira. Hello, good evening, and welcome to Roaring Cycles Expedition. Hope all of you are having a splendid week. I'm doing well, Samira. How about you? Hi, Mark. Hi, Sai. Good to see you join the show. So, our today's guest was Anushka, but unfortunately, I just received a call from her, and she said one of her relatives has been hospitalized, so she would not be able to make it to the interview. Yes, we the show must go on. So, would any of you from the viewers or our great audience like to join in for the interview impromptu? Sorry, my phone slipped off my hand. So, uh, hi Kalpana, give me 2 minutes. I will be just back. Like I said, our guest for today had a slight problem. Mark, this is not a riding club. We are a platform. So, Roaring Cycles is a platform for meant for bikers and anything related to biking. And we conduct interviews of bikers uh, and also people who have small business that who sell products for which is related to biking. So yes, this is not a riding club, but it's a platform for bikers. So yes, like I said before, our guest for today has a problem. One of her relatives has been admitted in an hospital in the hospital, so she may not be able to make it to the interview. So I will have to pick someone up from the audience to get on with the interview for today. Let me see whom I can pick up. Okay. Let me see. Okay.
Hey
Hey,
Shilpa.
Sai.
Hey,
How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. So sorry for the trouble.
No
Yeah.
problem. No problem. I'm going to interview you today because
This.
my guest is not. I mean, unfortunately for her, she has to be in the hospital with her relative, so
Yeah.
I have to pick
Unfortunately.
up someone from the audience.
Yeah. I'm glad for the
So I picked you.
opportunity, but this is a little impromptu, and I'm not sure. Like,
Yes. No, you don't have to be. I mean, it's just whatever I ask you, you just have to answer that,
okay.
and you can do that pretty well. I know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Sai, tell us about yourself first, without being a biker. I know you're a biker. I mean, you ride around, but yeah, tell us something about yourself.
Yeah. So facts are that I'm a rider. I've been riding for like past couple of years, and other than that, I
Mm-hmm.
work for a software company as a developer, senior developer,
Mm-hmm.
and right now I'm
Hold your
actually
phone
logged in.
still. I can't see your face.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah.
other than writing, I have a passion for trekking, traveling, and for my livelihood, I work as a senior developer in a software company. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And yeah, been in India for like almost my entire life. Visited only one other country, which is Sri Lanka, which is great by the way.
Okay. And where in India do you live?
In Hyderabad, Telangana.
Hyderabad.
Yeah.
Great. Great. So, how did you start biking? Like, what inspired you to start with biking?
So basically from my childhood I wanted to travel, but almost most of the time it was like with family only. With friends
Mm-hmm.
in college we used to travel, and then I used to see people who would take out bikes for like only for their day to day commute.
Mm-hmm.
And since I didn't had a bike at that time, I used to rely on other friends or like cousins and used to take their bikes for commuting. But then once I started like going from place to place, like why should be restricted from only for commute? Why can't we go
Mm-hmm.
to like other places? Like from Hyderabad, there are other places such as like Srisailam or Nagarjuna Sagar. People use only the public transportation for those places. Then I mean at that point of time when internet was very low and it was mostly word of mouth that we used to see people giving these
Mm-hmm.
advices and everything. So one of my friend's cousin, he told me that he
Mm-hmm.
actually rode a bike from Hyderabad to these places like the Srisailam
Okay.
or Nagarjuna Sagar or some other
Uh-huh.
100 kilometers nearby. Then I got this idea like why can't I try that? And then it
Mm-hmm.
started like once I got my own bike, then it started like I started exploring Hyderabad first, then extended my range. And in the 2011 I got my first bike. So it's gradually over the years I started with like within Hyderabad, then across Hyderabad 100 kilometers, 150, then I started expanding the area. And right now I pretty much like touch the tip of India, which is like Kanyakumari and Rameshwaram, and to the topmost, which is the Ladakh. So that's how
Wow.
it like expanded my range of riding. It started with like from commuting, and then it expanded into like completely traveling all over India.
Cool. That's wonderful. I
Yeah.
remember when we met in Hyderabad, like you were not
Hmm.
so very prone to wearing the safety gears and the
Yeah, yeah,
helmet
yeah.
and all those things.
So
How did you convince yourself to get onto it?
yeah, so it happened like I bought my bike in 2011. Then until 2015, I didn't had any proper riding gear. I didn't even have a helmet, and I was riding a
Mm-hmm.
220 cc bike, like the Pulsar 220, and it is known to like have so many incidents. And I, for one, met with so many accidents, and luckily, seriously, luck played a major part in that. That I didn't had any safety gears and I didn't get injured. Like I have injuries and scars for the accidents that happened, but luckily no major incidents happened. So
Mm-hmm.
and then in 2014-15, once I started riding with the groups, like previously it was mostly me and a bunch of my friends. Then I started riding
Okay.
with groups, which included you as well. So and basically from 2014, from the time we met, almost like 6 to 7 months, you were at the back of me every time we met. Like you were constantly telling me about the safety gears and everything. And in 2015, once or twice when I met with an accident, I kind of like felt that impacts, like what can happen without a helmet or with the helmet or with the safety gears, without the safety gears.
Mm-hmm.
I started reading about it, and then I felt ki maybe it is time that I should take this seriously. Like these safety measures are there for some reason. So previously it was just the idea ki I have to ride the bike. Then it changed. Something changed. I'm not sure. Like it wasn't a day thing or a over the night change, but something
Uh-huh.
changed gradually, and I felt like yes, I have to take this seriously because this is something I want to do. So then it started as a normal safety hazards, and then I got my first helmet in 2015, and then started with that. Then went on to buy the knee pads, elbow pads, jackets, boots, and then safety rig my bike as well. So it gradually changed. It wasn't an overnight decision, but over the couple of months maybe, and a constant like friends like you who told me like these are important, like these are supposed to be with us while riding. So all those things help.
Yeah. I mean, riding gears and keeping yourself safe is very necessary to
Yes, that's
enjoy in the
true.
long term. Na
Yeah,
ek accident and then like yeah, either
yeah,
you'll hurt yourself so bad you can't move around, or you will just be so scared that you won't move around.
that's
So
true.
definitely,
Yeah, that's why I'm telling you, right? Luck played a major part because almost every other month I used to have a small or the any of the other incidents that were like happening with me, and luck played really. I am damn sure that luck played an important role because there were so many incidents with me that I can't even explain. So yeah,
so which was the worst incident till date?
worst incident. That's got to be in 2012. Like in a 1 month span, I actually wrecked 3 bikes.
You
So it
broke three
happened like
bikes.
yes, yeah. So yeah, first it happened like it was my bike. There was some
Uh-huh.
brake fluid issue, so I told my friend not to take that bike. He asked me for
Mm-hmm.
like a short ride to get something from the grocery store or something. I told him not to take it because he can't handle that. First of all, it's the CC, and then the brake fluid wasn't working, so the brake wasn't applying easily. So I told him that he didn't listen, and he took the bike and he went and hit a Tata Police. So
Oh,
luckily he didn't get hurt, but the bike was completely damaged. So the
oh
service
my
center
God.
told that they will be taking almost a month for it to get fixed. So I was using my dad's Activa then, and I was riding in the
Okay.
night, and then there was a drunken rider, like normal
Mm-hmm.
person who was riding another Pulsar 220. That guy came
Mm-hmm.
and hit my Activa.
Oh
So the
my.
Activa was also in the workstation, like service center now. So my bike was in the service station. After 15 days, my dad's bike was on the service station. Then I took my cousin's bike. Like I need
Okay.
the bike to ride to commute from
Mm.
home to office. So I took
Mm.
my cousin's bike and I was riding it. And at a junction,
Mm.
I had no clue. There was a red light. So at the stoplight, I stopped and I was waiting for it
Mm.
to turn green. And suddenly, someone
Mm.
from the behind they crashed into me. So in a
Oh,
span of like the 1 month, I had like three incidents like these.
so you broke
And
everyone's bike. You just
yeah,
wanted to break it, so you took it out.
yeah. Unfortunately, that's how it seemed. And literally, like in the month of April, this happened. And in the month of April, three of the bikes were in service centers, and all three because of me. And after that,
Wow.
for like 6 or 7 months, no one actually gave the bikes to me. They were like, "You sit behind, you be the pillion. We will ride. We are not trusting you right now." That was it. Yeah. Now we are laughing about it, but at that time it was like too painful, like to see people
I know,
not
I know.
giving their bikes for us, and then yeah. So it
Even
happened.
I won't give you.
Yeah. I never rode your bike, actually, CBR or
Actually, see.
yeah, never. But by the time we met, somehow these things were like behind us. Like I wasn't
Yes, absolutely.
driving such carelessly, I would say. I was a little careful
True,
after that.
true.
Yeah.
So, which was the longest ride that you have done till date, and what was your experience like?
Yeah, longest in the terms of kilometers or longest in the terms of like number of days. Because
Both.
I did, yeah, so I
You
did a
can talk about both.
Yeah. So the longest in terms of kilometers would be my last year ride, where I started from Delhi, went on
Mm-hmm.
to a circuit for Delhi, Spiti, Manali, Delhi, and rode back to Hyderabad. So this was the
Wow.
longest in terms of kilometers.
Uh-huh.
And number of days would be my Ladakh trip. Like I did the Ladakh ride in 2016. That
Mm-hmm.
included almost a similar one. But we started from Manali to Manali. Like we
Okay.
started in Manali, we hired the bikes over there, and then we went on
Mm-hmm.
to Ladakh, then Pangong and something, and then we came back to Manali, dropped off the bikes, and then came back to Hyderabad. So,
Okay.
but both of them are like so exceptional, like those mountains, like riding in those scenarios, like that is like extremely next level. Like until that time, I was riding on plain roads or national highways or state highways
Mm-hmm.
in some
Mm-hmm.
cases, but completely those highways, or I can't even say those are normal roads. Those are exceptional. Like at least the Ladakh part was, most of the part was like constructed. The roads were laid out, but the
Uh-huh.
Spiti, there are so many roads unexplored, and there are so many off roads that are like amazing. And luckily,
Yeah.
last year I took my own bike, so it was like a
Uh-huh.
completely different experience for me. And
So how was riding in on the Spiti route? I mean, what was your experience like? I mean, can you explain in a little bit detail?
yeah, so Spiti route, I mean, comparatively in our normal highway routes or like the rides we have like down south, it's mostly the highways or the state highways where you have these exceptional views. But coming to this part, like the Spiti or Ladakh part, it's like you have a mountain on one side, you have a road, and the road is like maximum of 60 meters or something, and then you have a valley beside you. So it's like if you have a distraction, you are either going into the valley or you are going into the mountain. So you have to be so careful, you have to concentrate, and then you have to enjoy. So, but at that point, right, when you are riding in that, you don't have all these thoughts. You just have like, hey, dude, I am riding in these roads. Like you have this fulfilling moment, I would say. Like you will be
Mm-hmm.
happy from within, and it's an amazing feeling, exceptional, I would say. And only,
Yeah.
I mean, we can describe, but I'm not sure if we can find the right words to describe. It's like a different level of experience, I would say. But yeah, it's a happy feeling
I
end of
remember
the day.
like
Hmm.
yeah, I remember like I think when you were on the Spiti ride or when you were on the Ladakh ride is when we were like just few days here and there,
Yeah,
and
it was the
there were
Ladakh
a lot
ride.
of Ladakh ride, right? And there were a lot
Yeah.
of landslides, and I think you nearly escaped most of them. Like it happened a day before, a day after when you moved out.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. So this was the first
how
time I
was
was,
that?
yeah, sorry to interrupt. Yeah, but this was the first time that I was riding the Ladakh region, or the
Uh-huh.
region where it was mountain on one side and valley on the other side. Sorry for stressing that again and again. But yeah, so landslides were a new thing for me. Like I've heard landslides in the news or I've seen on the videos and everything, but this was
Uh-huh.
something on a different scale because you are experiencing it for the first time. So the day we reached Manali, 2 days before, the landslides happened. And then once we
Mm-hmm.
started with Manali, then we were going to a place. The landslide is happening the day before. Like I'm reaching
Okay.
today, but the landslide was happening yesterday in a certain region. So basically, we were skipping it like 1 day or 2 days. But we caught up in the this landslide section in Pangong while we were riding to Pangong. So
Mm-hmm.
we started from there. We were going to Pangong Road, and I don't remember the place right now, but there was this one place where like we had a stretch of traffic because there was a
Mm-hmm.
landslide that happened in the morning, and they were
Right.
trying to
Yeah.
clear it up. And
Uh-huh.
the worst part of landslides are the traffic that comes afterwards. Like that clear that area around like afternoon to evening or something. And we started our
Uh,
ride. Literally, there was so much of oncoming traffic that was there, and those roads are so narrow, you can't even skip it. And these people are driving so carelessly, I would say, like my previous years. And it was
mhm.
like a different altogether experience. And but
Okay.
end of the day, we have to be careful, and we have to have the like keep the distraction away.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. And of course the weather compared to what it is in Hyderabad and what it is in those
yeah.
regions, that would
It
have been
was
like
a
extremes.
Yeah, it was an extreme for me because most of my time was in Hyderabad, like here and the other rides or the other places that I went. But this was completely different. Like it was sunny in the morning, and by the time gradually the day sets in, by sunset you will be feeling that chill down the spine. Like if you are not wearing the proper thermals or anything, you will feel that cold from your bones. So, and me being the thin personality, skinny personality, I used to feel that like from and we used to sit beside the campfire itself only to like eat or only to sleep. We used to move out, or else we are like sitting beside the campfire, whatever, no matter what happens in the evenings. Yeah, and then waking up early in the mornings. That was a different task because it will be so cold. You will be in that warm comforters and everything. You can't even. You don't want to get out of the bed, but end of the day we
Absolutely.
have to. And yeah, but those
Ooh,
were like different you get a different perspective of your life, and you get a different perspective of like why you are riding and why exactly are you there, like what made you do that. So you get these
absolutely.
questions, you get these answers, and it's like surreal, can't explain that. Yeah.
Okay, then coming on to other rides, which has been
Hmm.
another ride that has left you with very good memories.
Almost all the rides have been like uh, range of emotions, like because I did this Rameshwaram ride with two of my friends. It was like three bikes, that's it, and we were three friends riding on them. And uh, all the three bikes we just like these were like the old bikes, like not the ones that you can ride for long. So we had these
Mhm.
bikes and we started our ride like around 9 o'clock. I just planned for it, like I planned for a solo ride, but and then two of my friends joined in, and then we started this
Okay.
ride. In the middle, we never experienced an issue with the bikes. Like we didn't had
Mhm.
to we never got a punctured tires, we never got a issue with the oil changes or anything, or chain
Oh.
issues, nothing. Luckily
Mhm.
those like 7 or 8 days we went for a ride, those 7 or 8
Mhm.
days it was like calm. The bikes actually kept us safe. The bikes actually gave us a good experience because no matter the
Oh.
roads, we were driving in highways, we actually went off route. We got a detour and then we went off roads. Then we came onto the highways again. We had the state highway where there were literally no roads. But end of the day, the bikes gave us such a support that it was a good experience after that. Like even with like those bikes, we could travel that much. So it was good thing. Like that was one of the experiences. That was one of the ride that I can't never forget because it was mostly we had a place in Target, and we used to ride
Mhm.
from morning till afternoon, evening. We used to ride like normally at a decent 50, 60 average speed. But in the night, we had to crank it up because we have to reach that place. So by the time at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, we will be like 100 kilometers or 150 kilometers away. So we have to like be quick and reach there by certain time so that we can at least get some normal rest. So that was my first longest ride as well, because Rameshwaram was the
Okay.
first time that I went
Mhm.
beyond like my state. Like before that, it was within state as well. Like before that, it was
Mhm.
within Hyderabad. Then it was within state. Rameshwaram was the first ride that I went from Hyderabad, which is Telangana, to Karnataka, and then to Tamil Nadu. So I got to
Correct.
experience like different cultures, different cuisines. Like I have traveled before, not as riding. Like I used to travel by the
Mhm.
local transport because Karnataka I
Backpack.
was doing, backpacking basically, treks
Uh-huh.
or something or the other. I used to travel, But this was the first time
Uh-huh.
I was riding from Hyderabad to some place, Rameshwaram.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And there was this one ride, I would say.
Awesome.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
uh, this was like in 2017 New Year, I guess. 2016, 16 end or 17 end. I don't remember the exact timing. But there was this one ride we just planned randomly, and there were four bikers who we took like three classic 350s and one Himalayan. We just had a plan in our mind that we have to go to Bangalore. We didn't know
Okay.
like why or how. We know that Bangalore highway is there. We had like four bikes. We have to just travel. So we started Hyderabad on like Friday morning. Friday morning,
Uh-huh.
we were at Shamshabad. So we started our ride. Then we were going towards the Bangalore route. Suddenly at 9 o'clock or something, we had our breakfast, and then we had this crazy notion that we should take a detour. I have no clue why. We
Okay.
just had this
Okay.
discussion, and we had like we want to take a detour. So it was like a tie between two of them were saying like we
Okay.
have to stay on this highway to Bangalore. Two of them were saying like no, we have to take a detour. So at that point, what we can do, so we took out a coin, we tossed. So if it's a heads, then we are doing Humpy, which is a detour. If it's tail, then we are doing a straight route to Bangalore. So we tossed, and we decided that we are taking a detour. Then we went on to
Okay.
Humpy. Yeah,
Wow.
that was the craziest thing that we did. Like on the moment, on the go, in the middle of a ride, we were doing that toss, yahan chalo, toss, wahan chalo. And we were doing that until Humpy, right? That whole day, we were just tossing the coin, deciding it based on fate. Yeah,
Wow. Wow. Awesome. Awesome. That would have been really fun, like, being undecided about where you need to go and just pick the bike and keep it rolling till wherever it is going.
yes, that's true. Our ended destination was Bangalore. So it didn't matter like which route we were taking. We just went on a roll on that one. And
So you said you have,
yeah,
sorry to cut off. Yeah, go
no.
ahead.
So that it was a New Year ride, right? So December 31st, around midnight, we were riding into Bangalore. Like around
Wow.
12, 11:30 to 12, we were still riding into Bangalore. So that was a different experience because we rode into New Year. Normally we go from year to year, but this was the time where we rode to next year. So that was a like an experience, I would say, one of the experiences.
I can understand, like,
Yeah,
when you love all that traveling and you move into a new year traveling and the whole
yeah,
year, typically they say like whatever you do at the start of your year or is what you keep doing till the end of the year.
that's
So
true.
yeah, I can understand that. And it has happened with me also, but yeah, it's more of planned ones,
Yeah.
not the impromptu ones that I've done. Um, so, Sai, you said you're into trekking as well. So you must have actually explored a lot of Hyderabad and Telangana on the whole, right? Um, so which places do you generally go for trekking in and around Hyderabad or in Telangana state as such?
Yeah, actually, for trekking, ac- I feel more connected over Maharashtra areas than
Maharashtra?
Telangana. Yeah, because the places nearby Pune and Mumbai, they give such a soothing views. Like in monsoon, when we travel to nearby Pune or when we travel nearby Mumbai, there are so many amazing places that we have. Like in 1 year, I actually wanted to list down the number of places that were like trekking areas or like the ones
Uh-huh.
that we can actually approach while hiking. So the list until like the limited knowledge that I had, it came to somewhere around 30 to 35. There were like so
Wow.
many places, and I was like check marking each and every place that I was traveling to, I was hiking to, and still I'm far behind than what I started to do. Like that 30 places, right? I might have gone to like 10 or 15 places, that's it, in the last 3 or 4 years. There are so
Wow.
much to explore nearby Pune and Mumbai, and that is my favorite place to go. Like if
Awesome.
I'm trekking, then it should be like Maharashtra area. And the
Lovely.
second best thing would be like Karnataka, the Kumar
Uh-huh.
Parvata and Kudremukha over there. Those are like my go-to places. I want to like go again and again. That you get a I'm not sure I'm finding the right words, but you get a home wala vibe over there on those mountains. You feel
Okay.
connected to them. It's like
Mm-hmm.
the mountains are calling, they say, right? It's actually true for some people. Like I feel that whenever
Right.
I have this place in mind, I feel that, yeah, dude, I have to do this, or I have to see the mountain view or the view from this hilltop. I get that call. I get that. I'm not sure if calling is the right word, but yeah, I feel that connection to these places.
I understand what you're saying because it happens with me also. Like sometimes when I'm just thinking something randomly, some thought will come and then it will say like, okay, I need to go there, and I'll just plan and I'll go. So yeah, I can understand that completely. So whereabouts in Hyderabad have you trekked, or whereabout I would let's not talk about trekking. Let's talk about your rides. Whereabouts in Telangana and Hyderabad have you ridden to? I mean, give
Hyderabad
us some
to
insight about Telangana and Hyderabad so that people like us, when we come, we can go and actually see some places there.
yeah, yeah. Nearby Hyderabad, there are like numerous places that we can explore. Like if we travel like 200 kilometers to the north side, we have Adilabad, where you have like so many waterfalls. And from Hyderabad to Adilabad, the route is like so good. Like the highway that they built it, it's like so good. And from Hyderabad, we have like at 300 kilometers, we have Chirala, which is a beach area. And this
Mm-hmm.
route again, the stretch itself, you have like a state national highway for like 150 kilometers, and then you have a decent what do you say, state highway where you can actually
Mm-hmm.
have paddy fields on both sides, and then you will be riding in the middle. That's a
Wow.
different experience again. And nearby another place, the Srishalam Highway, which is like a go-to place for like every new biker and every seasoned one, like because
Mm-hmm.
that gives a different like riding experience altogether. Like I've seen people like riders who have like got a new bike. Their first destination in mind is like go to Srishalam, because that route you have a like you get a personal feeling over there. Like you are not riding into a different place, like different village or something, or different what is it? Not your non regular commuting place.
Mm-hmm.
You get a feeling
Right.
that this is my home itself. Like I'm riding from one place of my home to another place. That's it. You won't get a like a different thing over there. So
Correct.
Srishalam route,
Also,
I
it
would say.
passes through a forest reserve, correct? As in when
Yeah,
we
it
go
also passes
towards
through a
Srisal.
forest reserve and the Ghat section, which is like
Yeah.
one of the best Ghat sections in Telangana. So that is there.
Okay.
And there are these few new places that I found. There is this place called Kundavidu. Kundavidu is something, I'm not sure about the naming, but yeah, there is this place
Mm-hmm.
that has a Ghat section. I've seen in photos. Like I wanted to ride in 2020, but unfortunately got restricted of it. So there is this Kundavidu place, or the India famous Araku Valley. Araku Valley is something
Oh
that you
yes.
have to explore via train and via the what do you say,
Road
roadway.
route. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like that's another place that you have to travel. So these are kind of like nearby Hyderabad, not exactly in Hyderabad, but nearby Hyderabad. But coming to Hyderabad, you have like internal roads that you have to search. Like you can travel to Old City. That section itself is a different feeling. Like if in Ramzan time you are in Hyderabad, then you have to check out like the uh, Charminar area. You get a
Mm-hmm.
you get this divine feeling or spiritual feeling over there. And in the Tangband area, normal time you go, you have this empty free spaces. And when you have these Telugu festivals, that at that time we have something called as Bonalu and Batakama. At these times,
Mm-hmm.
the whole Tangband is lit up. So you have to check out
Wow.
these places in Hyderabad whenever you are in that festive times. And then
Cool.
at any time or at any season, you have to check out the Necklace Road area. That is one of
Yeah.
the
Obviously.
prides of Hyderabad. That's a place that you have to go.
Wow. Wow. Awesome. So also I think Hyderabad is very good. I mean, as a for shopping and for pearls, I think Hyderabad is very very famous. around
Yeah,
there, and you get a lot of things to shop around there. So is it only the old city or is it somewhere else as well?
as far as I know, it's the old city that you have to go for. Like if it is like the designer wear or the bangles or the pearls, or I'm not sure of the higher ones, but yeah, for these things, then it's definitely the old city. You get a, what do you say, world class, or you get these designs from everywhere. You can find it over there. The Sultan Bazaar or the Lal Bazaar, you have to go there. Like once you go there,
Okay.
like uh, you know what exactly you want. So until and unless we go there, we don't know what exactly we missing over there, like that.
So Prithvi says if not just traveling, Pega Tombs is a masterpiece of architecture.
Yeah,
Have
that's
you
true,
been there?
buddy. Yeah, no, not Paiga Tombs. Like, I never got the chance, or I never tried to explore that area. But yeah, Paiga Tombs is like a masterpiece. That's true. And also, we have like Golconda. And Prithvi
Yeah,
is
of
one of my
course.
friend and my riding buddy as well.
Okay,
Yeah,
nice. Hi, Prithvi. So,
yeah.
uh, I also know that, I mean, as far as when I was in Hyderabad, and there's this place called Sirsila where you get these matchbox saris.
Okay,
Do you know anything about that?
I don't know anything about that, unfortunately.
Okay, you need to buy a sari for me from there.
Yeah, sure, sure, definitely. And when you're coming to Hyderabad, right? We both will go. That's the better
Yes,
way.
we will ride to Sirsila, and
Yeah, we'll
from
ride to
there we
Sicily
get
and
this
then.
uh, matchbox saris, because you know the sari is so finely made and woven, hand woven,
Hmm.
and it is so fine that you can actually fold it and put it into this big matchbox that comes.
Oh,
No,
nice.
the and it fits into that completely.
Oh,
The full 6 yard sari fits into it very neatly,
that's
and it
amazing.
can, I think it's one of those that can just be pulled through a ring.
Oh, wow. I feel
That
embarrassed now
and
because
it's
I
silk.
don't know about this.
Yeah, you need to know about these things.
Yeah, yeah, I should.
So what is the food culture like?
If you are talking about food culture, then it would be like an hour or two or more than that. Like it will take that much time because
Yeah, but then you can
Hyderabad.
tell me in short.
Yeah, Hyderabad is famous for the biryani, of course. That's the number one
Absolutely.
thing. And then
Yeah.
also we have like Halim season in Ramzan. And
Hmm.
Hyderabad is a place where different cultures of people actually, what do you say, they started residing here uh, from like ages. So you get like a different cuisines in different locations. Like if you go to Old City, you have one type of what do you say, one type of cuisine, like not exactly one type of cuisine, but you get this different experience, like what do you say, eating experience. If you go to Gachibowli, you have this. Not Gachibowli, the Madhapur area. So Madhapur area, if you
Hmm.
go, you have these roadside stalls like street food markets. Uh,
Right.
that offers you like from like the south side's idli to the north side's biryani, or not biryani, but the north side's puri chole, or the vada pav from Maharashtra, or the Kerala's food, or like the Karnataka's food. You get like this everything in one place. Like you have to travel from one place to another within the Hyderabad, and you will be experiencing more than one varieties of food. Like so, you have to stay in Hyderabad for like couple of months to actually
Okay.
explore the entire area and eat and uh, like if you are a foodie, trust me, Hyderabad is the best place to live in because you will be
Then I
getting so
should be
much food.
complaining to you because you never took me to any of these stalls or places and treated me to anything. So yes, I am going to complain to you big time. I was there for a year and a half. You didn't take
Yeah,
me to places.
but we were always meeting at one particular location, which is our adda, and we used to eat like we ate everything from that place. Like each and every
Absolutely,
stall, we
yeah.
had like food bills. We ate like
Yes,
crazy over that place. Yeah.
exactly, exactly. I know. And even Josh is also from Hyderabad, or rather, I think he's from Andhra. Hi, Josh. So he says the Irani chai and Paradise ka biryani is like ultimate over
Yeah,
there.
bro, but unfortunately, Paradise Biryani is something that's like it was really good until a certain time, but now somehow I don't like it because it's it doesn't like the authentic biryani that we had years back. It has completely shifted. So right now the leading ones are like Shadab or Shagos. These are the two leading ones right now.
Wow.
And there
And
was one, yeah, Prithvi is saying biryani is B. Exactly. Biryani is biryani, Hyderabad biryani, like people from around the world know Hyderabadi biryani. Like they feel connected to that. So
yeah,
that's
but
how good.
funny thing is, if you come to Mumbai and you say Hyderabadi biryani and you get this green color biryani, and one of my friend, he would always tease and say whenever he came to Hyderabad, he would say that, okay, get me that Hyderabadi biryani. I want to see that green color Hyderabadi biryani. I'm not sure why they do it over here, but yeah, that's the way it is done here.
Yeah,
And
it's like the bringing something from outside and giving it a local touch, I would say. Like if we
yeah,
bring
maybe
Maharashtra's vada pav, we won't exactly replicate Maharashtra's vada pav. We give a Hyderabadi touch to it.
Hyderabad
Like
touch
or
to it.
yeah, if you take the Gujarati special, if you like what is this Gujarati? I don't remember the dishes, but if you take a Gujarati dish, we add some masala to it because
Okay.
we like it spicy. We like that masala thing. But if you go to Gujarat, you don't get this masala too much. You get like a sweetish this thing, right?
Yeah.
So it's like the local flavor we like to add.
Okay.
Dokla. Yeah, there
So,
you go.
okay.
Thank you, Prithvi. You are like amazing audience, I would say. Also, hey Aishwarya.
So, so yeah, I know. I mean, in Telangana, typically they eat. Their food is pretty hot. I wouldn't say spiced up, but yeah, very hot. The biryani is definitely spiced, but otherwise the chili is
Hmm.
really hot over there, and they prefer to eat that hot stuff. Um, I
Yeah,
like it,
my
so yeah, I enjoy it.
yeah, exactly. My brother-in-law, he actually eats the raw chili. Like like we have a side dish with every curry that we have. Like we make dal, we have a egg fry or like the potato fry. We have that as a side dish. So my brother-in-law, he actually has these green chilies. He takes that
Okay.
as a side dish to the dal.
Wow.
Even if the dal is spicy, he wants to have that.
Lovely.
Yeah, so that's a method, and I can't eat that spicy. Like my spicy level is there, but not that spicy. That's like extreme level. So yeah,
So Aishwarya says she had better Hyderabadi biryani in Bangalore than in Hyderabad.
I sure you are just boasting about Bangalore. It's not like
Is
it's
she from Bangalore?
definitely. Yeah, she is now staying in Bangalore.
Okay. Wow. Okay. So Abhishek wants to know where do you stay and where did you do your schooling in Hyderabad?
So there is this place called Secunderabad in Hyderabad near. So there, my schooling was in that area, like in the Secunderabad area. We used to have this St. Mary's school. It was a convent, so
Hmm.
I did my schooling over there. And Hyderabad, basically, the living part, I have been in ECIL area, which is like more not that popular. So yeah, that's the place we used to be.
Cool. So yeah, so Trutvi also says that if you're talking about hot and spicy food, you need to know about Rayalaseema Ruchulu. I think I
Yeah,
know a bit about that. But typically, rather than the biryani, I enjoy the complete, the thali that they serve
yeah,
with lot of variety of vegetables and all that. Of course, I'm a veggie, so yeah, it's
yeah.
always veggies for me. But
That's
yeah,
true.
I used to enjoy that, and the different powders that they use to mix with rice.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
is the specialty of doing that?
I mean, uh, like it's not just the dal or the fries that we like. We have these powders that I'm not sure. Like I'm not that foodie. I just eat what I have, like, or I don't have like much preferences. If it is chicken, then I'm eating that. That's it. That's my only preference. But yeah, we have all these powders from I don't know what those exact things are, but like we have mirchi ones. Then we have like a mixture of like. Uh, I'm not sure what exactly it's called. I'm very bad with names and cooking stuff. I'm really bad with it. But yeah, if you go to Rayalaseema and Andhra, you have like different varieties of like these powders that you are talking about because they spray it over idli. They use it in doshas and they have like as a side dish for rice as well. So it's a different thing. And coming to Rayalaseema, the spicy, it's like on the next level for Hyderabad, I would say. Like whatever I have
Mhm.
experienced for Rayalaseema, the spicy is like next level of Hyderabad because I've been there
Wow.
once or twice, and the amount of spice they eat, the spicy food they eat, that it's like I can't handle that. So it's that level.
Wow. I
Yeah.
I will definitely taste that. I used to do that. In fact, I used to go to those departmental stores, pick up
Hmm.
all those powders, and then bring it home. And yeah, of course, I used to not mix it with rice, but I used to mix it with the curry to make it a
Yeah.
get it in a different taste. I mean, a different flavor,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. Yeah.
that used to really be yummy.
That's true.
So Abhishek says gunpowder, ghee, and rice was amazing. And he also studied in, he used to stay in Tirmalgiri.
Oh, nice. It's like 5 or 6 kilometers from my place. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It's,
see,
it's like
like
one
we are
end of
getting a lot of
Hyderabad.
information. Prithvi is telling us about curry leaves, groundnuts, and fried chana. And
Yeah.
Aishwarya is telling us about gunpowder and one with they eat with idli. So yeah, thank you very much for educating me because I am not a foodie and I told you, right? I'm not a foodie. I am like,
Now you don't have to tell me that you're not a foodie.
yeah,
You
you
need to
know
say that
about
you
it.
don't know what you're eating.
Yeah.
You just
It's,
gobble it.
yeah, I trust people that make the food. So yeah, I just gobble it. I see food, I eat. I'm hungry, I eat. That's
Yeah.
it.
But you have to tell us how do you stay so thin all the time after gobbling
Uh,
so much of food?
it's a God-given gift. That's the truth. I can't say anything else because I don't work out or I don't do magic stuff. It's just like I eat and it just happens like that. But there is no
Yeah.
special thing about that.
I always remember you would come to the off. I mean, when we used to meet after office,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
would
yeah.
come and then we eat, and then you will say, "Okay, मुझे घर भी जाके खाना है." So like, what you just had so much, and then you need to even go home and eat another meal. I mean,
Yeah,
that's some
it was
appetite
like
that you
it
have.
happened to be like with friends I eat. Then again, mom used to cook, so I can't उनको नाराज नहीं करना. So I have to eat at home. So it basically happened. I used to have breakfast, lunch, dinner one, and then dinner two,
Dinner too.
and yeah, and then midnight or something. I used to crave for a something or the other. So I used to drink milk or juices from my house. So
Wow.
basically, my schedule was completely different at that time. And then it
What is
changed
it
over the
now?
course of now it's like lunch, dinner, dinner one, and dinner two. Just 3 meals. That's it. Breakfast
Oh
is
my God.
completely skipped.
Okay. I need to come back then.
Yeah, see, Aishwarya, the experienced one, is talking. Varna mummy laat
Yeah.
maregi.
Lat money.
Yeah, because mom
Absolutely.
used to make I even if I tell her that no, I'm having dinner outside, I won't be eating. She is like, ah, it's okay, don't not a problem. Come home, eat 3 rotis or normal this much of rice, and then you can sleep peacefully. So even if I'm telling my mom that don't cook, she will be cooking. So I have to eat it. Like obvious reasons.
That's so lovely of her, like to take care of
Yeah.
you and then just keep food for you.
Yes.
Like it used to be the same with my mom also. So when I used to come home and I tell her, "Mom, I've already eaten. Don't keep anything for me." She'll still keep at least a little bit, like and then she said, "Oh, I've made this. You like this very much, no? So you just eat it, just for taste, okay? But
Yeah,
eat
they
it and keep it."
emotionally give that to us. See,
Yeah.
Prithvi also is an experienced person. See, Telugu moms will kill if the food they
Telugu
made
moms
is
will
left
kill if
over.
the food.
That's true. Like they will blame you. If there is a leftover, then definitely you are the one who didn't eat it. That's the end of
Absolutely.
the story. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, which there are also a lot of these temples which are pretty famous for in Telangana. Would you know of any of them? Like I know one. I mean, I know two. I would say one is Amar Lingeshwar, which is in Amaravati, and I know Sri Sailam.
Yeah.
Um, and I know this thousand pillar wala temple
In Varangal.
in Varangal,
Yes.
and there is also this Devika temple over there. That's
Vijayawada.
all I know.
Yeah, that's in
No,
Andhra Pradesh again.
in Varangal itself, there are
Oh,
two of these temples.
I
Okay,
am not
so
sure.
you have not gone
No. I am not that
there.
much
Okay,
of a
so
temple
you
visitor.
have to tell me of something that you really know then.
Yeah, so coming to temples, from my childhood, it was like three temples only. Tirupati, every year we used to visit, or Shirdi, like twice, once in 2 years, something like that. So we used to go there, and Sri Shalam, it's like our household temple. We used to visit like every alternate month or every 2, 3 months we used to go. So these were the major temples that we used to visit. But Telangana and Andhra combined, we have like so many temples that you will lose the count before you can know them. Oh,
I absolutely agree. And then you have this what is that visa temple where you
yeah, the
go
Chilkur
pay for
Balaji
your visa.
temple. Yeah, we
How
used
far is
to.
it from Hyderabad?
It's in Hyderabad, the outskirts of Hyderabad, basically.
Really?
Yeah, it's like the
And
outskirts of.
do
Hmm.
you really get a visa when you go there and pray?
That's a popular belief. So, yeah,
So you have not prayed for it.
nah, I didn't. We used to go to Chilkur Balaji temple, or there is another one on the other side called Sangi temple. We used to go there
Uh-huh.
just to bunk the college. We used to go to temples, like
Wow.
in my graduation level. Yeah, you are bunking the college. From our college, these two places are like 40 or 50 kilometers away. So we all friends wanted to travel. So we used to just go to temples because these places had like nice outer sections, like not the temple area, but not the temple, but the temple area is like really good. So we used to go there. And Prithvi, yes, even Kisara is a Visa temple. I am not sure of that, Prithvi. But then again, yes, Kisara is a place, and that temple area is like really good. That's a Shiva's temple, so that place is also really good. And in my graduation, without knowing, I actually trekked that place. Like we used to climb those mountains, get down, and I didn't know there was a name for it, like the rock climbing or something. We just start like we have rocks, we are climbing it, we are getting down. Later stages, we got the know that there is actually a term called rock climbing, and people actually use these safety things, have these experiences shared across things. So yeah, without knowing, only we used to do those things at that time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Lovely. I also remembered one more temple that is
Mm.
Yadagiri Gutta,
Yeah,
where I've
Yadgir.
gone.
Yes, Yadgir Gutta, and that is nearby
Okay.
Bongir actually.
Yeah.
And
So
Bongir
next time
is.
when I ask you
Hmm.
something, you have to make a big list and keep with you, and you should study about your own place.
Yeah, I have to. Like, know a few things, but it's not coming to my mind right now. So yeah, impromptu, right? So it's impromptu.
Yeah, never mind, never mind. You saved my day actually because
Yeah, yeah,
unfortunately my guest she couldn't join in
yeah.
for some reasons, but definitely you saved my day by joining in the interview and talking to us on this. Just like immediately, you didn't even know I'm going to invite you on this.
Yeah. Yeah, that was like I just joined the live, and then I got this live request, and it was like, okay, this is something she wants me to do. Chalo, I'm like, okay, happy to do it. And we had this amazing
Awesome.
conversation.
Awesome. That was really wonderful, Sai, and thanks very much for joining us on this Roaring Cycles expedition and sharing so many things about Hyderabad and your rides and everything. Thank you very much
Right.
for joining us. It was, as always, a wonderful time spending and talking and reliving some of the memories while talking with you. So,
True that. Yeah, and
and
actually,
I don't
thanks
know.
to this live, I actually got to know many things about my area and so many things that I should know that I don't know. So yeah, I have to keep working on that. So thank you very much for this live.
Yeah. So you have to remember a lot of things when I call up next about upon
Sure,
you.
sure,
Cool.
definitely.
So thank you very much for joining us, and it was wonderful talking to you. Again, you made my day and saved my day. So sorry for inviting you just like
Not a
that, as
problem
in
at all.
on a immediate thing like. So yes, um, have a wonderful night. Have a wonderful Wednesday and the rest of the week. Weekend is coming, so you need to enjoy that.
Yeah,
And
sure.
do join us on our show on Sunday at 12 noon, where we will have another story to tell about another northeastern state that we will be covering.
Sure,
So,
sure, definitely.
so till then, take care and be safe, ride safe.
Sure,
Bye
sure.
bye.
You too. Bye.
So, guys, that was Sai for all of you, and he's a wonderful person. Thanks to him for joining in and uh, getting onto the interview at such a short notice, or rather without a notice even. You people have a lovely day, a lovely night. Enjoy, and hope you all have a lovely weekend. Catch you on Sunday at 12 noon with another person who is from a northeastern state, and we would love to know what he needs to say about his state. Thank you very much. Take care. Good night, and bye bye.